Hi, am I on the air?
Yep.
Fuck.
Thanks.
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
Don, I got you.
Do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag grounded, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear. Highest necks on the cloud, hammer in the air. Sunday nights, prime time. I flex my better. Voltron transform to DX Don. Mega and off scene. You probably think I'm nice, cause I slow like a stream to your wireless device. And the smoke full of steam on any given night. How short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about, I tune in and tune the rest out. Don, you gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air?
Hi, am I on the air?
Well, what is going down, my friends? Welcome back to another brand new edition of Am I on the Air? I'm your host, Don Mega, and I welcome you to the show. This is Am I on the Air? This is your latest and greatest entertainment news. Everything that's going down in the world of entertainment news, we bring to you here, along with some reviews for the road as well. It's season 18, episode 17, and tonight's show is titled King of the Podcast. That's right, we are the king of the podcast. When you're looking for something during your drive, maybe before you go to sleep, maybe when you first wake up in the morning, maybe when you're at the gym, and you're just looking to get caught up with everything that's going down on TV, in movies, some quick movie reviews, this is the podcast you come to. It's Am I on the Air? So I thank you for joining me tonight as I get you guys caught up to speed. We are broadcasting from the road tonight. Yes, I usually broadcast live from the Red Dragons radio studios in lovely Tucson, Arizona. Well, I am traveling for work right now, and I'm actually broadcasting live from the Best Western studios in lovely Cottonwood, Arizona. That's right. So setting up shop here tonight. Usually drop an episode for you guys every Monday night. But I had a lot of things getting together, getting ready for my week. I knew I was going to be out of town tonight, so I figured let's hold off the show one more day, and then I'll be able to have the time to do it for you guys while I unwind here at the hotel. So I'm got the setup going, and we're ready to break it all down for you guys. New movie review of the week that we're going to jump right into is, of course, and that's hence the spin-off of my title, as always, King of the Podcast, right? So that means we're going to be reviewing Godzilla, King of the Monsters. That's what we're going to get into here. And I got a couple other quick Netflix reviews for you guys, too, that we're going to get into for Always Be My Maybe and Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile as well. So let's start right off with Godzilla, King of the Monsters. This is the sequel, the direct sequel to the 2014, I believe, Godzilla movie that came out. I can't believe it's been that long since that movie launched and how long it took to get us to a proper Godzilla sequel. Now, some people might slide in Kong Skull Island from a couple years ago. That movie does technically take place in the same universe. It's not a Godzilla movie, but it is a monster movie that's heading us all into another movie next year, which will be Godzilla vs. Kong. So that is on its way, right? So we had Godzilla in 2014. We had Kong Skull Island, I think, in 2017. And then now here we are with Godzilla, King of the Monsters in 2019. And then next year, the ultimate showdown, Godzilla vs. Kong in 2020. So this one here, basically, we haven't seen Godzilla pretty much since he went away after the last movie. But now there's a ton of other creatures that are popping up all over the place that we so-called Titans. And of course, if you've seen the trailer, you know you got Ghidorah, and you got Mothra, and you got Rodan. There's a lot of really cool monsters here, and they're all starting to kind of get out in the world And therefore, that brings Godzilla back to help us fight off all these beasts. Now, that's about as much as I can get into it without getting into spoilers. What I will say for this movie is it's exactly what is advertised. It's crazy bonkers. It's got some really cool-ass monsters. And it's got some really awesome visuals and some great action. The story is just okay. They're not trying to win any Oscars here. The story's just okay. Some of the acting is okay. But overall, I think it was handled pretty well. You got Vera Farmiga in there. You got Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. She's pretty awesome. And I hear she's going to carry over into Kong versus Godzilla later. There's a really good base of characters in this movie as all hell is breaking loose. But now, of course, the main thing with these movies and all we really truly care about when it comes down to it is the monsters, right? The whole big thing of the first movie was let them fight. Let them fight. Which I believe was the title of my episode where I reviewed that Godzilla movie 4 years ago. So look up that episode, Let Them Fight, and hear my views on the original Godzilla movie, which was a disappointment in one hand because that movie had very little Godzilla in it. It was like every time Godzilla started to come out on screen, the camera would change angles. It would turn to a different direction. You never could get a good look at anything until the last 15 minutes of the movie, which is fantastic. That last 15 minutes is great. But, the rest of the movie, Whereas this one, it's still got too much of the humans, I'll tell you that. The trailers really focus on the creatures, and that's what I was hoping we would get 100%. Unfortunately, they do lean onto the human characters a lot. But I think the movie plays it better in giving us some monsters, human story. Some monsters, human story. Monsters, human story. Kind of flip-flopping back and forth. So it makes a little bit more sense in that aspect. So... so they fixed their problem from the first movie. We get to see close up in front and personal with the creatures, which I think is way better than what they did in the original movie. I had fun with it. I thought it was a blast, and if you just really want to see some great action with some really cool looking creatures, if you want to see a 3-headed dragon spitting out electricity, this is the movie for you. If Godzilla's not your thing, if you watched the trailer and you were like, oh no, going to see the movie's not going to change your view on that. You're not going to like it. But if you watch the trailer and you think it looks cool, I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll have a good time with it. So I really did, and I think it's way better than the Godzilla movie. But I do believe Kong Skull Island is still the strongest movie out of the three. And but I can't wait to see what they do when we merge them all together next year with Godzilla vs. Kong. So Godzilla King of the Monsters is not the king of the summer movies and not the king of the franchise, but it is still a really fun ride. I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I think you will too if the marketing appeals to you. Okay, I'm going to switch gears here. We're going to jump over to a couple Netflix movies. That's right. Usually Netflix movies, they're a little hit and miss sometimes. But they dropped a movie over the weekend, a real cute romantic comedy called Always Be My Maybe. And it stars Ali Wong and Randall Park. They also co-wrote and produced the movie together as well. And I think them having so much investment into it really works for this movie and really brings the whole team together. I loved this movie. I watched it with my wife over the weekend. My wife loved it as well. It's super funny. It is a romantic comedy, so it has that cheesiness to it. It is, of course, trying to play the will they, won't they. It's a typical formula of a rom-com. But it's interesting to see because they're of Asian descent, the different family values, the different things that they've gone through in their younger lives to their adult lives. The premise of the movie is that Ali Wong's character and Randall Park's character were best friends as kids. They basically grew up together. They were almost like brother and sister. They did get romantic at one point, and they got in a fight, and they went their separate ways. The movie fast forwards about 16 years later. Ali Wong is now a chef, like a top chef in America that everybody loves. She's super rich and powerful, and she's opening up restaurants all over the U.S., and she ends up going back to where she grew up to open up a new restaurant, and she ends up bumping into Randall Park's character, who, of course, like I said, she had a falling out with and hasn't seen in 16 years. So at first, it's very awkward. They don't really like each other, but they decide to start hanging out, and their friendship kind of rekindles. And then you think maybe it's going to go, romantic, but then different things happen. She's engaged at the beginning of the movie. So there's a lot of, like I said, will they, won't they kind of things. Now, if you've seen the trailer, you know that there's a great cameo in this movie by Keanu Reeves. What I will say about this, without really giving anything away, is that number one, it's not just like a quick cameo like he's only in one scene. He's actually in a decent little chunk of the movie. Number two, he plays himself. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite roles I have ever seen Keanu Reeves in. He is so damn funny in this movie. I mean, he's on point in this film. And the way that he plays off Ali Wong and off Randall Park is so good. And it really just took this movie and elevated it to a next level for me. I think it's one of the best cameos ever in cinema. If you can even call it a cameo, which I think it still kind of classifies for it. But in the end, it's just a really funny, and great chemistry between Randall Park and Ali Wong. I love Randall Park. I love him in Fresh Off the Boat. I love him in all the movies that he's popped up in just little side characters. I think he's great, and he's phenomenal in this movie. He plays it up really, really well. Ali Wong, man, who, is known mainly for her stand-up comedy. She pops up in little roles here and there. She's fantastic in this movie. So their chemistry is what works, and that's what really nails this movie down. And then you throw in a Keanu Reeves, and oh my God, it just takes it to a whole nother level right there. I cannot recommend this movie enough. I would, rate this movie 4 stars also just for Keanu Reeves. This is probably like a 3.5 star kind of movie, but it's a lot of fun. And being on Netflix, I probably would pop it on again and watch through the credits. There is a song. Randall Park's character is in a band in the movie, and he sings a song in the end credits that's about Keanu Reeves, and it's the greatest song ever. I saw a bunch of Twitter tweets already promoting this song for early consideration for Oscar Song of the Year for a motion picture. It's so good. The songs that Randall Park's group sings in the movie are great, and it just is just another layer of awesomeness to this movie. So check out Always Be My Maybe, now streaming on Netflix. And while we were on the Netflix kick over the weekend, we decided to catch up on another one, and that is Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. This is the true life story, documentary kind of movie with Zac Efron playing Ted Bundy. It's the Ted Bundy movie. Now, it's a really good movie. Let me just start off by saying that. But, and I knew I was going to have to follow it up with a but, is that me and my wife, we were expecting a different kind of movie. I thought the movie was going to really follow him as the serial killer, as the man who, murdered all these women, and you would see everything unfold. This movie really takes place after the events, while he's in prison and while he's on court, while he's in court testifying and trying to plead not guilty, and just everything that's kind of going on during those years. So it was a little bit hard for me to transition my brain from what I thought the movie was to what it really was. But I will say on the flip side of that, though, it was still a very good movie. And I thought Zac Efron did an amazing job as Ted Bundy. He was very, very good in this role. And it's a very interesting movie. And once again, it's on Netflix. You're not wasting any time. Not wasting any money by taking the family out and having to go spend all this money at the movie theater. It's worth a watch. If you're even remotely interested in the Ted Bundy story, I think it's worth your time to watch it. I really dug it. It just, like I said, I just expected a different kind of movie, but once I wrapped my head around what they were doing, I really got sucked up into it and really enjoyed it. So I would give it 3 out of 5 stars. on that scale for that one as well. So that's what I have for you guys this week from a movie review perspective. We have Godzilla King of the Monsters, 4 out of 5 stars. Always be my maybe, somewhere between the 3.5 to 4 star level. And of course, the Zac Efron Ted Bundy movie, Wicked. God, this movie title just trips me up every damn time. It's extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. And I would do 3 out of 5 stars for that one. Very solid performance by pretty much everybody in the movie, but Zac Efron, of course, really steals the show. Okay, so with the movie reviews out the way, I do have one more. You know what? Let me just do it now. I got a pilot review for the DC Universe, this DC streaming universe. Their new show, Swamp Thing, just launched this past Friday. Check that one out. And I really dug it. You know, what sucks about the DC Universe is they are 1 episode each week. So I just finished Doom Patrol, which, let me give you my final thoughts on Doom Patrol. I started off loving this show in the first couple episodes, and then this show just got so fucking wacky and just completely off the rails that it was very hard for me to follow. I know a lot of people on Twitter and a lot of people I've talked to absolutely loved Doom Patrol because of how wacky it was, but for me it just went so far off the rails. Like, my wife watched the first couple episodes with me, and then she gave up because she said it's just too much. It just was way too much for her. So she bailed, and I almost even bailed because, like I said, midway through the season, I was like loving it, and then I was like, what in the hell? And it's so funny because when my wife bailed on the show, I was like, why are you leaving? Like, this show is awesome. Like, why would you bounce out on it? And then a couple episodes later, I'm about to bounce out on it. It just got so weird, but I did finish it up through the end, and I'm still kind of scratching my head over what the hell did I just watch. It's weird, man. It's hella weird. I don't know if it's going to get a second season. I just wish they wouldn't have gone so extremely weird with it. At first, I dug kind of the little bit of extra stuff they were doing, but then it just went so off the rails. But here we are now with Swamp Thing, and I've always been interested to see a really good telling on this character. And I've been hearing great things. Directed by Len Wiseman, produced by James Wan. It's going to have this really scary horror movie kind of feel. And it does. It does. And it follows the source material. People are doing some crazy shit in the swamps. And our good old boy, Dr. Holland, falls into the water at the end and gets shot. And the swamp takes him over and he becomes Swamp Thing. Now, this is just a pilot episode, so he really doesn't even become Swamp Thing until the very end of the episode. So I'm looking forward to, as the show progresses, how well is this character going to play off on TV. The still pictures I've seen of him have been amazing. It was a creepy kind of episode. There was a lot of cool visuals that they did with the swamp and with some different bad things that were happening. I dug it. I wouldn't say I was in love with it. I wouldn't say it's amazing and you better hurry up and run out and get your subscription if you're not subscribed yet. But I did enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing how the show progresses over the next coming weeks. Okay, so that's just a quick rundown of Swamp Thing that is available now on the DC Universe streaming app. You can't see it anywhere else at this time. Okay, reviews out the way. Let's shift gears and let's get into the news of the last week. Amazon Studios has given a series order to the YA drama from Sarah Stryker called The Wilds. Zack Snyder's new zombie movie Army of the Dead has added Ella Purnell to the cast. They're going to start filming next month in July, and Ella Purnell is going to be playing the daughter of Dave Bautista, who has already signed up for the movie. Clifford the Big Red Dog, that's right, he's getting the movie too, and Big Little Lies Darby Camp and Jack Whitehall have joined the cast for Paramount Pictures' live-action adaptation. Anthony Michael Hall and Sherry Saum are going to guest star in upcoming episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which, I'll tell you, man, I'm watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now. I'm torn on this one too, man. It's a decent season, but I don't know where the hell they're going. They are so far removed from the MCU at this point that it kind of bothers me, because that's what I loved about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that it felt connected before, and now I'm just like, what the hell universe is this Marvel show in? Because it doesn't feel like the MCU, that's for damn sure. Jessica Jones season 3, it's finally happening, and here it comes on June 14th. That's right, June 14th, Jessica Jones season 3 will drop on Netflix. It is the final season. This is the last of the Marvel Netflix shows, and after this one they are all done. But I am excited to join back up with Alias Investigations and see Jessica Ritter as Jessica Jones kick some ass. Kristen Ritter, I should say. Did I say Jessica Ritter? Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones whoop some ass in season 3. So I hope they go out with a nice little bang there. Matthew Vaughn says that Kingsman 3 will finally conclude the Eggsy and Harry story. It is going to be the culmination for them and wrap up their story. So a little bit of a bummer. I do love the dynamic between Eggsy and Harry, but I'm very much looking forward to Kingsman 3. I love the first two. John Hamm has been talking about Top Gun 2 recently. He says you're just going to be blown away by the amazing aerial footage that they're doing for this movie, so it gets me pretty excited. I love this news here that Chris Hemsworth actually fought to have quote-unquote the Big Lebowski kind of Thor throughout all of Avengers Endgame. You know, that was something we talked about on our spoiler review, was that we were so shocked that they actually kept him like that the entire movie, and that they didn't just cop out and basically magically turn him back into the Thor we all know and love halfway through the film, which Chris Hemsworth said that was the original plan, is that they were going to do this with him, but then switch him back when when things got real crazy. But he said no. He said, this is what the character's going through right now, and you should leave him that way. And I agree. I think that's exactly what I said on the spoiler review, was that they should have left him that way, and I think it had a better payoff. So good on Chris Hemsworth knowing what is up with his character there. We have the brand new second trailer for Annabelle Comes Home, so check that out. I'm actually looking forward to this one for once. There's projecting that the Lion King live action movie that's coming out will have a $180 to $230 million opening. That is insane. It could have the second biggest opening, actually third biggest opening of all time, if it cracks that 230 mark. Actually it'd be the fourth biggest, because Star Wars is up there too. But man, if it can crack the 200 million mark, I didn't think that Lion King would go that high, but that is what the projections have it poised at. Let's see here. Marwan Kenzari, who played Jafar in the new live-action Aladdin movie, has just joined Charlize Theron in a new action thriller called Old Guard, so he just joined the cast for that. Square Enix has been working on a Marvel game for many, many years, and they finally have announced that the game will be called Marvel's Avengers, and it will be shown in some form in a couple weeks at E3. So I can't wait to see more about this Avengers game, because this is a video game I am definitely picking up. Joel Kinnaman finally confirmed to return as Rick Flag in the Suicide Squad, so yes, he is returning. Good to see that some other characters are starting to finally get their renewals coming in to come back to this sequel here. Jake Johnson is set to star opposite Colby Smulders in her new show Stumptown, which is coming to ABC. Easy as 1, 2, 3. I couldn't help it. The New Gods movie. Remember Ava DuVernay was doing this movie? We talked about it like 2 years ago, and then nothing's happened. It was just announced this past week that the comic writer Tom King is actually set to co-write the screenplay with Ava DuVernay herself. So great addition there, getting Tom King to do this with her. So that's pretty awesome. The Judd Apatow-Pete Davidson comedy has just added Pamela Adlon to the cast. We have everything coming and going to Netflix in June. Stan Lee's final project is a cartoon called Superhero Kindergarten. Yes, that is the final project that he has worked on, and they're turning it into a cartoon that will be, I believe, coming to Netflix. And guess who's going to be the superhero in kindergarten. It's going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's right, Arnold. Arnold is going to be the teacher at the school who gets to teach everybody about being a superhero. So very cool here. The upcoming final project from Stan Lee will be an animated children's series called Superhero Kindergarten, and the teacher of the class is none other than kindergarten cop himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So pretty awesome there. Amari and the Night Brothers. Marsai Martin is set to produce and star in the upcoming adaptation. Horror western The Pale Door has landed Devin Druid in a starring role. I've got an article up with David Harbour talking about Hellboy's major problems. Oh, yes, check that out. Remember, all of this news can be found on our social media, or Twitter, or Facebook page, so just kind of scale back in the last week to catch up with any full articles of anything you want to dive into more. The New Mutants, yes, they are finally scheduling the reshoots. The reshoots will happen later this year, after this movie has been shelved for over 2 years at this point. So glad to see that they're finally going to do these reshoots. It's going to be awesome when, these young actors and actresses all of a sudden look way older in certain scenes. We have the first trailer for The Goldfinch, so you can check that out. It looks like the Black Widow movie is currently shooting, and you can see some set photos right now. The show Star that was canceled over on Fox, the creator of the show was looking to find it a new home somewhere else because Fox had already canceled it, but unfortunately the search has failed, and he is now officially confirmed that the show is donezo. 47 Meters Down, Uncaged. That's right. You can check out the first trailer for that right now. The director of Rocketman and also the guy who helped finish Bohemian Rhapsody says that if he was to make another biopic, he would love to take on the Madonna story next. That would be something interesting for damn sure. The Good Fight Season 1 will actually air on CBS this summer. Boy George is actually the latest music icon to have a biopic in the works. We have the first trailer for Rambo Last Blood. That's right, Sylvester Stallone is back as John Rambo, and shit is going down. People are dying. Check out the trailer for Last Blood. Looks pretty cool, man. I'm on board. It hits theaters in September. Glow. Season 3 is finally hitting Netflix on August 9th, so I'm very excited about that. I love Glow, so looking very, very forward to Season 3. It is actually official now. Robert Pattison, unfortunately, is the new Batman. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be biased. I don't mean to be unfortunately. I cannot wrap my head around this dude as Batman. I don't know, man. I, for one, think he's goofy as hell looking, and he just doesn't strike me as Bruce Wayne. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. I'm just having a very hard time getting on board with this casting. I was hoping it was a bad dream, but it is confirmed now. Warner Brothers has officially come out and said the offer has been closed. They have gone to him. It was down to him and Nicholas Hoult, which I don't see Nicholas Hoult as Batman either. I would actually almost prefer him over Robert Pattison if it came down to it, but they both screen tested in a Batman suit, and Matt Reeves picked Robert Pattison. Like I said, even though I'm having trouble with it, I do feel like he probably will do a great job. Matt Reeves is a great director. He knows what he's looking for, and obviously Robert did something great in the testing, but I'm just struggling. But like I said, I do feel like in the end he will probably do a great job, and we're going to love the movie, and we're going to say he's a great Batman, and I will be eating my words in a couple years saying I was wrong. But as of right now, I can't fight the feeling, man. As much as a lot of you hated Ben Affleck's casting when it was announced, I felt good about it. I came on this show and I said, Your argument is invalid. Ben Affleck is an amazing guy to pick for Batman, and I love the casting, and I just can't get around Robert Pattinson's casting at this point. He just doesn't do it for me, man. And I look at his pictures, and I don't see Bruce, and I don't see Batman. So it makes it very, very hard for me to really buy into this guy. But we will see in 2021, I guess. Netflix has optioned 3 new novels from YA author Sarah Dessen. The Fox and Disney acquire Chris Van Allberg's The Garden of Abdul Ghazazi. Mary Elizabeth Winstead calls Birds of Prey genuinely funny and weird. She said she had a great time doing this movie, and we're going to be very excited to see it, and I know I am. We have the first trailer for the new Pixar movie Onward, which you can check out right now. This one here with the voice cast of Chris Pratt and Tom Holland. I was so-so on the trailer, but, I'm on board for this voice cast, so I'm sure it'll be great because it is Pixar. Let's see here. Benedict Cumberbatch's new film, The Power of the Dog, has been picked up by Netflix, so that will be coming out exclusively there. Bong Joon-ho's new movie Parasite has been set for an October release date. Director Marc Webb from the Spider-Man movies is in talks to direct Disney's Snow White remake. That's right, they're going to be doing another live-action Snow White that has nothing to do with the Huntsman, but just in vain of their other live-action movies. So Snow White is on the way, and Marc Webb could be the one slinging up to do it. USA's new show, Brave New World, has just enlisted Jessica Brown Finley for the cast. We got a really cool article up with Matthew Vaughn talking about what he would have done with the X-Men franchise if he would have stayed on after First Class and actually did his trilogy. So a pretty interesting read there. It's official that the new Call of Duty that comes out in October will be Modern Warfare. That's right. If you're saying, didn't they already have a Modern Warfare? Yes, they did. This is a reboot. Yes, we're at the point where we're rebooting titles for video games. The Modern Warfare that was previously released was Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was a subtitle, whereas this game is just straight Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It is a reboot. It is their biggest selling game, so they're trying to go back to their roots here. I'm on board. It was Modern Warfare many, many, many years ago that got me into this franchise, and I continue to play this game every year because of the addiction that I got to this game when Modern Warfare originally came out. So I, for one, even though I think it's dumb to reboot and do a same damn title again, I'm, for one, am very excited to play some Modern Warfare when this drops in October. So I will be pre-ordering. Tricia Helfer, David Arquette, and Dana Gould have joined the Creepshow reboot. That's right. I can't wait to see Creepshow. It's going to be pretty cool. We got some 11 new Lion King character posters that have been released by Disney. Jordan Peele has confirmed that the Candyman sequel will feature Tony Todd. So very cool there, Candyman. James Cameron says that Terminator Dark Fate will continue John Connor's story. So what that means in the long run, we don't know because we don't see John Connor in the trailer. We haven't heard anything about a John Connor. Is Edward Furlong in the movie? I don't know. But he says it will continue the story. So I don't know. My guess is that John Connor is dead. So yes, we're continuing the story, but we're continuing it in a alternate kind of way. That's just my guess, but maybe they are doing a good job of just hiding that John Connor isn't here and we haven't seen him yet. Carla Gugino signs up for a new show called Manhunt Lone Wolf. That's right. Season 2, actually, of the Spectrum original. It's an anthology series called Manhunt, and this one will be called Manhunt Lone Wolf. I'm very sad about this news. HBO's Silicon Valley is going to be ending with the upcoming Season 6. That's right, Season 6 will come out later this year. It's been crazy delayed, but they have now announced it. It's the last season, and I'm pretty bummed about that. I love Silicon Valley, man, so I'm very sad to see this one go away. Matthias Schoenaerts and Luca Marinelli have also joined the upcoming Charlize Theron movie, Old Guard. And that's Old Guard Fred, not the Mouse Guard. Mouse Guard movie's still dead, so I don't want you to confuse the news there. This is Old Guard. Inside jokes. Patrick J. Adams is set to star as John Glenn in the upcoming new drama series The Right Stuff. We have the first trailer for Trinkets, starring Negasonic Teenage Warhead herself, Brianna Hildebrand. Like I said, we have the Onward trailer, the new Pixar movie. We have the first gameplay trailer for Call of Duty Modern Warfare that you can actually check out as well, along with the Rambo Last Blood, and the new trailer for The Kitchen, which I really like this trailer. It's actually based on the DC Vertigo comic. It stars Melissa McCarthy and Tiffany Haddish and Elizabeth Moss, and it is not a comedy, man. This is a crime drama with gangs and all kinds of mob shit. It looks really damn good. I am on board for The Kitchen. Check out this trailer if you haven't seen it yet. And if you want to see reviews quicker for these trailers, you should follow me on Stardust. Stardust is a really cool app that you can download on your tablet, on your phone, and you can watch video reviews. That's right, I do video reviews. They're only 30 seconds long, and you can watch me do trailers, reviews for trailers, for movies, for TV shows. I try to drop a lot of them on there for you guys, so you can always know what's going down with a lot of this different entertainment that drops. So instead of waiting for the podcast every week, you can always follow me on Stardust and know right away which things to check out, which things to not check out, so forth. So check me out on Stardust. Give me a follow. It's simply Don Mega, DONMEGA, and I'll follow you back. Vita has been renewed for Season 3 over on the Starz Network. Beverly Hills 90210 reboot has just added Vanessa Lachey to play Jason Priestley's wife in the upcoming reboot. Also on Beverly Hills 90210, they have added Lala Anthony in a recurring role. The show Abby's has been canceled over on NBC after just one season. The Village has also been canceled on NBC, along with The Enemy Within. That's right, The Enemy Within also canceled on NBC. Now, I was going to watch The Enemy Within. I had this all bookmarked on my Hulu, ready to go, and then it got canceled, so I have deleted it off my queue, and I'm not going to waste the time anymore. But that one looked like a good one. I just didn't have a chance to get into it yet. But once a show gets canceled, I say, why finish it at this point, right? Especially if you haven't started it yet. If I had started it, I would finish it. But if you haven't started, there's no point in starting if the show's already been canceled. Downton Abbey's Jessica Brown Finley is set to star in the USA Network's Brave New World series. Wesley Snipes is going to star in a new movie called Outbreak Z. It's going to be an action horror thriller that's directed by Daredevil fight choreographer and stunt performer Chris Brewster. So that sounds pretty cool. The CW has renewed Burden of Truth for Season 3 ahead of the Season 2 premiere. We got a pretty cool article up with Simon Kinberg talking about how he crafted a goodbye for the X-Men franchise with the new Dark Phoenix movie, which drops this week. I will be seeing Dark Phoenix in a special fan screening on Thursday in IMAX, so I'm looking very forward to that and seeing how we close up this chapter of the X-Men. Let's see here. We got a pretty cool article I posted up talking about large and small clues that were in Godzilla King of the Monsters that actually related to the upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong movie that we kind of hinted to earlier. So kind of cool to see all the little references and things that they dropped, kind of linking the movies together. A Magic 8-Ball movie is in development over at Blumhouse. That's right. You know, it's funny because this sounds stupid as hell, but I'm like, Blumhouse, a Magic 8-Ball that probably kills people once you roll the wrong dice. I'm like, I can see this happening. So I'm on board for the Magic 8-Ball movie. And then this is some interesting news. Quentin Tarantino is working with Jerrod Carmichael to do a Django and Zorro crossover film. That's right, you did not hear me incorrectly. Django from Django Unchained and Zorro, yes, that's Zorro, a team-up movie. So Jerrod Carmichael is writing the script, working with Quentin Tarantino. I don't know if Quentin would direct this, but they're trying to make this a thing. So I guess cool. I guess we'll see what happens with that. Bryce Dallas Howard is teasing that the original cast of Jurassic Park might return for Jurassic World 3. I, for one, am very much on board for this. I think if they're saying that Jurassic World 3 is the last film in the franchise, why not bring it full circle and bring everybody together for this? I just love the idea, and it looks like this is becoming more and more of a possibility, so I'm on board. Director Gary Dauberman exits the Are You Afraid of the Dark movie. That's right. Looks like creative differences, as always. Moonlight director Barry Jenkins is set to helm a Alvin Ailey biopic film. Patrick J. Adams will be returning as Mike Ross in Suits' final season. It's been confirmed that the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare will not have a zombies mode, so no zombies in this upcoming game, which is good. I don't think you need zombies in every Call of Duty. This news just broke yesterday that the Russo brothers, of all people, director of Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, and more, are going to be working with Netflix on a new animated series for Magic the Gathering. That's right. Magic the Gathering is getting an animated series that's heading to Netflix with the Russo brothers. Very, very cool. Although I don't care about animated stuff, and I don't care about Magic the Gathering, but I know a lot of people do, and I think the Russo brothers would be a good mix for this one. We have the brand new Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark trailer, so check that out. It's really cool. Rumor, and I stretch rumor has it that Benicio del Toro might actually be playing a lead villain in the upcoming Suicide Squad movie that James Gunn's doing. So take it for what it is right now. I'm stressing it is just a rumor. Harrison Ford says that Indiana Jones 5 is expected to start filming next year, so look for that. It is actually happening. I can't believe it. We have the first trailer for Ford versus Ferrari. This is a new movie with Christian Bale and Matt Damon. Actually, it looks really good. Reminds me of Rush that came out a couple years ago with Chris Hemsworth. So check out Ford v Ferrari. The Netflix show Dead to Me has been officially renewed for Season 2 over on Netflix. A new Amazon show, Carnival Row, is a fantasy series starring Orlando Bloom and Cara Delevingne. That gets a new trailer that you can check out right now that we posted up yesterday, actually. Jane the Virgin and iZombie are getting summer series finale dates over at the CW. Apple saying goodbye to iTunes, so we have an article up talking about what to do next if you're going to lose your iTunes. FX has a new ensemble drama called Mrs. America, and they've just brought on Elizabeth Banks to the cast. I love Elizabeth Banks. I love anything she does, so that's a great addition. Ashton Kutcher has officially announced that Netflix's The Ranch will be ending with Season 4. Why Women Kill has a premiere date set for August over on CBS All Access. Mr. Mercedes' third season is set for a September premiere date. Rob Zombie has announced that his first trailer for his new upcoming horror movie 3 from Hell will be arriving next week. Machine Gun Kelly has joined the Judd Apatow Pete Davidson comedy. A Punky Brewster sequel series is in the works, that's right, with actress Soleil Moonfry, who played Punky Brewster way back in the day. She's returning, she's a mom now, and she's got to deal with her own little Punky Brewsters. So, yes, Punky Brewster looks to be on the comeback trail. Camp Coral, that's right, SpongeBob SquarePants spinoff, officially greenlit over on Nickelodeon. Camp Coral. The Affair final season gets a premiere date in August, which I'm very excited about. I love The Affair, so I'm sad it's the last season, but very happy to see it coming in August. Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle video game is coming out in November. That's right, a November release date for Jumanji the video game, November 15th on the PS4 and the Xbox One. An animated spin-off of Jurassic World called Camp Cretaceous is heading to Netflix. So, that's a thing. The CW has added 2-sentence horror stories to its summer lineup. We already talked about that, sorry. Simon, I got an article up with Simon Kinberg talking about why Wolverine does not make an appearance in Dark Phoenix, and it's not what you think it is. It's not because Hugh Jackman didn't want to come back. It's actually pretty interesting to hear him break it down, so you can read that if you're interested. We have the Red Band trailer for Shaft. You can check that out. It is up on our site now. Pretty cool thank you video from the cast of X-Men. It's a pretty cool trailer that kind of goes through the history of X-Men, and then it has a lot of the stars from the current movies saying thank you for watching. The new trailer for Loose, starring Octavia Spencer and Naomi Watts. Going back to the rumor mill once again. Rumor has it Keanu Reeves is in negotiations or in talks for a role in the MCU's upcoming movie, Marvel's The Eternals. So once again, take this as it is, as a rumor. Nothing is confirmed at this point. I'm just spreading what the rumors are out there to let you know. But Keanu might be coming into the MCU. Alright, 2 shows over on the Sci-Fi Network have been canceled effective today. Deadly Class and Happy have both been canceled. This kind of bums me out. Deadly Class is something I've heard nothing but great things about. I was set to watch Deadly Class this summer. I was not able to get to it when it first came out, but I have all the episodes on my DVR. And this summer, when I actually got some time and all the other shows have ended, I was going to get through Deadly Class, and now, unfortunately, it's canceled. So I'm back in that same dilemma where I'm like, well, I never started it. I guess I never will. So I'm not going to watch it. Happy is another one. Happy hit Netflix, so I bookmarked it, and I was going to try to catch up, and if I liked it, I was going to watch it on Sci-Fi. But now Happy is canceled, so I guess I'll never start that one either. But pretty bummed out. These were 2 shows I definitely wanted to check out, and now they're canceled. Another show I was going to check out over on Amazon was Sneaky Pete. Sneaky Pete, I've heard nothing but great stuff about. My brother-in-law watches this show, loves it. Unfortunately, today, Amazon has canceled Sneaky Pete. It has also been confirmed by Lee Daniels that Jussie Smollett will not be returning to Empire. He has officially confirmed that. MTV is rebooting Punk'd and Singled Out. But it's not what you think. It's going to be little 10-minute versions of these shows that's going to be streaming on a mobile platform. So don't get too excited. Christoph Waltz and Gina Gershon are set to star in a new Woody Allen Spain set movie. I got an article up talking about how Robert Pattison became Batman, so you can check that out to kind of get the inside scoop of everything that led to this poor decision that we're at right now. And actor Glenn Powell is set to star in the new upcoming STX comedy called I Wanna Fuck Your Brother. That's right, that's the name of the movie, although it looks like they'll just shrink it to I Wanna F Your Brother. We'll see how far that title makes it in the end when marketing comes into play. And with that awesome note, that is the end of our news. So let's switch gears over to our release dates and box office. So out on Blu-ray and DVD today, actually, is just one movie. It's Tyler Perry's A Medea Family Funeral. That's right. If you do digital movies, Us came out today. Jordan Peele's Us. I already got it in 4K on my Vudu. So I'm ready to rock. So check that out on digital today if you do digital. In theaters this Friday will be Dark Phoenix and The Secret Life of Pets 2. So I'll be checking out both these movies. Number one, definitely checking out Dark Phoenix. I know it's the end of the X-Men franchise for Fox. This is basically X-Men 3 Last Stand all over again. But I love all these movies. I've been a big fan of the X-Men franchise since day one. We're 20 years later, and let's see how it wraps up before it goes to the MCU. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's a fun time. Going to, like I said, a special fan event, IMAX screening Thursday at 6 o'clock. So I'll be checking that out, and I'll have that review up for you guys. Follow me on Stardust, you'll get the review quicker. And then, I don't know if I'll get to see Secret Life of Pets this weekend, but I'll definitely be seeing it next week, as I'm going to be taking some vacation time from work. My father is coming to town to visit me, and I think we're going to go take my daughter to go see this probably next week when he's in town. So, there you go. Let's talk box office. Coming in number 10, it's The Hustle with 1.3 mil. Number 9 is Brightburn with 2.3 mil. Number 8 is Booksmart with 3.3 mil. Number 7 is Pokemon Detective Pikachu with 6.7 million. Number 6 is Avengers Endgame with 7.8 mil. Number 5 is John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum with 11.1 million. Number 4 is a very nice debut, Ma. I want to see Ma. I have not had a chance to see this yet. I hope to see it within the next week and have this review for you also. I really want to see Ma. 18.3 mil. So it's only number 4, but I got to tell you, 18 million. This movie cost 5 mil to make. So it's already made 3 times its budget in just 3 days. So this is a big hit. So congratulations to Octavia Spencer and Ma. I can't wait to see it. 18 mil on a $5 million budget in just 3 days. Great job. Number 3 is another debut. It's Rocket Man, the Elton John biopic with Taron Egerton. Actually below expectations, only making 25 million. Number 2 is Aladdin, holding on pretty strong, bringing in another 42.3. And your number 1 movie is Godzilla, King of the Monsters, with $49 million. With another 130 internationally. So this movie doing really well internationally, not so well in the States. 49 million is way below what they thought this movie was going to make. Everybody thought this movie was going to make 60, 70, 80 million dollars. It didn't even crack 50. It's going downhill. Godzilla 1 made over 90 million. Kong Skull Island made about 70 million, and then this one was only 49. So definitely on the low side. Still the number 1 movie, but definitely on the low side because this movie cost about $200 million to make. So it's going to be a little rough for them to recoup, but they're doing really well internationally, so we'll see if that will be able to save the day. And on that note, my friends, that is the end of our show. We actually went longer than I thought. We're at about the 50-minute mark. So thank you so much for tuning in and listening and getting through some really cool reviews and all the news of the week. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you as always. Our official webpage is amiontheair.com. Very simple, right? The name of the show is Am I on the Air? Why wouldn't our website be amiontheair.com? You can like us on Facebook. Guess what? Am I on the Air? You can follow us on Twitter. Guess what? Am I on the Air? You can follow me on Twitter at DXDonMega. That's right. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, but hey, we just talked about iTunes shutting down, so I don't know if I'll continue to say that anymore. Apple Podcasts, maybe? I don't know what they're going to be converting to, but we are available on whatever it is that Apple's going to do. If you need to find another place to listen, don't worry, because we're on Spotify, we're on Spreaker, we're on Stitcher, we're on TuneIn, we're on iHeartRadio, we're all over the interwebs, so just find us. Just type in Am I on the Air on Google, and I'm sure it'll pop up. We're on Google Play Podcast, Google Play in general, Google Play Music. So we're all over. It's easy to find us. We're available on YouTube. We're available on Instagram. Just look up Am I on the Air? And, of course, we got to shout out our great affiliates at reddragonsradio.com. Follow on Twitter at Red Dragons Radio. It's a great hub that has awesome podcasts on it. We're always streaming on demand 24/7 on Red Dragons Radio. Thank you so much once again for tuning in for this week. We're in June, man. I can't believe it's June already. So it's going to be a good week. I can't wait to see some Dark Phoenix on Thursday. And then take some vacation next week and see my good old father. So have a great week, everybody. Take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, y'all. Peace!
Bye, everybody.
Red Dragon!
Red Dragon.